Alrighty. So, we've got the stream going. Let's see. I think we can figure out a little something. Check something else out real quick. Just a momento. I guess that's where another monitor could be useful. This'll work fine though. Oh. This is okay. It's not the best, but it'll work. Okay. Just to double check to make sure sound's working real quick again. Sounds like it. Okay. Now let's get into this. Okay. Okie dokie. It's been a while, believe it or not. I know since this point in time I've just uploaded a couple of videos, both for CommunityFoster and for World of Tank Splits. And although those were just recently uploaded, I've actually had them prepared for a good long while, and I only now just got a chance to upload them because for about a month or so, but probably longer than that actually now that I think about it, I just haven't had, my situation hasn't allowed me an actual chance to upload videos to YouTube despite my wishes. So I made a few episodes, decided I probably shouldn't be making them and getting this far behind if I can't upload them yet, so I decided to stop and wait. But I just pushed those all out in one day to get them out there, and that's why I did like 4 videos in one day, which is kind of funny actually, because my previous internet connection, for whatever reason, a 2-hour video was what was a 2-hour video? It was I can't remember exactly, but it was something like, for some reason, a day and a half, or at least a day, just to get it uploaded onto YouTube. I don't know why, because I thought, well, I guess that's just what comes with a super long video, although it kind of did seem a bit excessive to me, which is ironic now, because now with my new internet connection, a video of the same length isn't even 3 hours to upload. And so I was a bit confused as to how come now I can get 4 videos easily uploaded of like 2-hour length within a day easily, and have room to do more if I felt like it, if I had them ready, whereas before I couldn't even get 1 per day. But that's neither here nor there, really. I'm just glad that it's working way better now than it used to be. So, since, although those videos came out like last week, I think, maybe this week, it's hard to remember. Since they came out this week, but they've actually been recorded like since a month or 2 ago, I stopped recording videos, but I didn't stop working, and so I'd say there's a fair bit to catch you up on if you're watching this. So, let me see, when was that video made? That's something I meant to check. That's something I meant to check. I didn't check it. Maybe I can figure it out here. 4-16. I can't remember when I made it, but I might be able. Well, actually, maybe I vaguely can from memory. I think it was either the 4th or the 5th month. So like, it was either April or May that I had to stop. Jeez, so that's like half a year ago. I didn't even realize it was that long. I think the last one was like the 18th or the 19th. So, okay. Well, maybe I left a note for myself. So I introduced. That was the first one I made. So it would have been the 5th month then. Did I even record those days? I might not have recorded those days for some reason. That's weird. I thought I would have recorded them. Huh. That's odd. I know let me see. It says I introduced people on this date, but I know I had more than just this and yeah. Well, the videos show what I did despite me not remembering. But I think this must have been after the last video I recorded the next time I came on, because I recognize this log as one of the reasons or at least I remember I wrote this log around the time I had just finished the last episode. And why this is significant is because the world has changed more, not just on the inside, but it's actually changed on the outside as well. You can kind of see it through there, but a better view is up these stairs, which are actually here. When I was recording those episodes, those stairs weren't complete, but they're now complete, and the reason is the world is now infinite. And this was not supposed to happen this early. This is not intentional, this world now being infinite. I mean, so I have to explain why it's become this way. So, the plan was, this was going to be a 2-phase world, where I would make this old world, I would make this big, huge village that spanned the entire, length and width of this old world, and fill it all in. And when that was done, and I was pretty much decided I was finished building the village internally, then I would save the old world file and then move on and continue playing the world, but as an infinite. I'd hit the make infinite button, so it'd be this huge old world here with this giant city in the middle. And that was the plan, and it's kind of happened prematurely on accident, because what happened, as I wrote down here, was when I updated, because I guess I didn't play for a while after I made those episodes, when I finally updated, it was 1.17.2, old world generation has been kind of funky for a long time, and this weird stuff happened and has been happening, where every once in a while, when they update the game, somehow they manage to kind of break the old world or mess with them even more. Inadvertently, I'm guessing, because I don't think they intentionally do this stuff. But when I updated, it's kind of hard to explain. Oh, I don't want to type, but basically, the original old world was like in this land area when I first made it. But when the game updated, for some reason, it took like one row of chunks in the world, and it shifted the whole world in that direction. So, I think it was this side of the wall where it happened too, where there used to just be right up against this wall, nothing but void in the old world. It was just void. You couldn't even fall off this wall. But then for some reason, it shifted so that that whole wall and section of the village way over there on the other edge just disappeared, and in its place was like another chunk, maybe two, of untouched new old world, probably about to where that little peninsula in the desert is on that river, probably about to there. It was bare bones, and so it was just big and empty. But the real problem was, although that's unsightly, it chopped that whole side of the village off. So it cut the wall off, it cut the village houses I had built there off, and I had no access to it. So I was thinking, well, what the heck am I supposed to do now? Like, it's like ruin the world. I can't play on part of it, and I just got this big open area. But the funny thing is, I discovered that if I would hit the Make Infinite button, I was trying to figure out a way to solve this, and I tried hitting the Make Infinite button. And the funny thing was, when I hit the Make Infinite button, this little section of the world that was now Old World would appear with the village in this Infinite world. But the wall over there that had been chopped off and the part of this village that went with it was also here. So it's not like it deleted that half or that little section of the wall and village. It's more like it got shoved into the does not exist zone, into the void, and then it created a new section over there and just shifted the whole world over. So I could have just said, okay, I guess we're doing that, and left it at that, because the shift in the world that's happened with this 17.2 update is permanent. Like, I can't fix it. I've tried. There's just no way of going back. So my choice was to just deal with it and then make the world infinite, because I need the rest of this wall. Or I actually thought of another option, which was go to a slightly old save file that I did just before I updated. So like the last time I recorded a video before this, before this live stream, the last time I recorded a video, go to the save file and try loading that world, because that was before the terrain changed. And wouldn't you know it, if I loaded that world in Make Infinite, if I just uploaded the file and pressed Make Infinite without actually going in and loading the world first, then the entire village would be here like it was supposed to be, the wall and all, and there wouldn't be that little weird extra section of Old World. However, if I didn't press Make Infinite and I just tried to load the world in the Old World format, then it would do the weird corruption thing. So I basically had no choice, where if I just wanted this village to be in the Infinite World and not that little misshapen chunk, I had to hit the Make Infinite button. So, long story short, because of some weird inadvertent changes with how old worlds work since 1.17.2, I had to push it basically into phase 2, but kind of not. It's like it's in the Infinite World now prematurely, but the plan is I'm still going to play this like we're still in phase 1, because really we are. We haven't finished the internals of the village, even close to being finished. But we just know that, hey, the Infinite World's right out there already. We're not going to be venturing into it much yet, because I want to save all that for once we've completed this village. We want to be independent from that outside stuff until then. So, basically, I was forced into hitting the Make Infinite, but all that really changes is we're in the Infinite World now, and it looks cool if you go up on the wall. Of course, because the save file I loaded was old, I did lose a tiny bit of progress, but it wasn't too significant. In fact, actually, that's probably why this book cuts off at... where was it? Cuts off at 5-1, and I think I stopped at like 5-4. I think that's because I forgot to save the next 3 days. I recorded a video. I forgot to save the world progress after recording, which is a big no-no, and what I've been trying to do is every time I make some progress, save the progress. So if something like this happens, you don't lose any progress. But I forgot for the last 3 days, so I lost 3 days of progress, but thankfully it wasn't anything humongous, and I have been able to recover, I think, from what I remember. And we've been continuing on as normal. But despite fixing that problem as best as I could, I still didn't have internet access yet, so... or at least I couldn't upload to YouTube. Until now, so we kept working, and all that progress is in here after 5-1, and that would be... let's see, so there's the problem. We added the finishing touches to the walls, and the stairs and the towers, and that's because, you can see right here on the tower the little design with, you know, this little design here that hangs off from where the actual corner of the wall is. That would be in the void zone on the opposing corner of the wall, and so I couldn't build it until I hit the Make Infinite. As you can see, it sticks out a little bit. So we added that, and then another little quirk with Old Worlds was that in certain corners of the world, if you put stairs down, you couldn't just walk up them like this. You'd have to jump from step to step, and it was worse than just hopping from a full block to a full block, so I had to wait to do that. But thankfully, because we're on an infinite world now, that problem's gone, so I put all the steps down, which is awesome because it's really annoying to walk part way up and then hop, 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 hop. It really slows you down. So, that's the first thing we did. Oh yeah, we mapped out immediate surrounding environment. So, although I said we're not really going out into the infinite world right now, I did map a little of it. For the heck of it, I guess, because, I don't know, I've been wanting to see it for a long time, and also it's just, when we finally get to the actual Phase 2, then I'll at least have an idea, excuse me, sir, of what the immediate outside environment looks like. So this is it right here. That's the world map, that's the zoomed in world map, and this is what the immediate surrounding environment looks like. So that's the entire village there. Mostly jungle, savanna, desert, kind of warmer stuff, but there's lots of little cool things here and there, like there's a crescent-shaped ravine over there, some more that you can see down there because there's the lava in the water. Ocean, that is, I think, a ruined portal, which is cool, and I actually have plans for that area way in the future because we're not there yet. Another ravine over there, lots of jungle. I think there's a jungle temple somewhere in here, but I don't remember exactly where it's at. And way up here, I think, yeah, that's on the map. That is a pillager outpost. Now, granted, because we're still in Phase 1, the difficulty of the game is still on peaceful, so there's no monsters because that would just ruin everything if there were monsters right now. Once the city's ready, then we're going to turn it on a proper difficulty. So I didn't encounter any pillagers, and it wasn't near as dangerous wandering through this place at night and whatnot. Let's see, what else? What else did we do? Besides that, I'm skipping pages. Where are you? Okay, constructed a crude redstone door. Right, so this also has to do with this map. I knew from the old world that it's possible there would be rivers that would enter the village or leave it and continue on out. And there certainly is. There's one here, down here. It's kind of split up weird. And there's technically one or two up here, but it basically just goes in a big loop, so I'm not even going to bother with that. But these rivers go on for a long ways, and I figured that'd just be a great way to get around the world from this city, is to just leave the river and go exploring. I still have to work exactly how I want to do that out, but I was making at least a door to try and get an access out so you can take a boat out there and use the river. And again, this door is, as the description says, very crude, and that's because I misjudged how difficult designing it would be. So it's nothing special, and really it's kind of a weakness in the wall. I'm gonna have to probably reconsider how to make this so that it's not so thin, because there's no point in having this thick of a wall if the doorway is only this thick, at least in my opinion, unless there's literally nothing else we can do. So you just drive your boat up to here, you press a button. It's a pretty quick delay, so you like have to be right here in your boat and then immediately swim through. Like, even as being in the water, you could just barely get through. But then you're on the outside of the wall, and woo, all kinds of other stuff. So one crude doorway, at least so you can... Oh, I missed it like that time. At least so you can somewhat pass through. There we go. I haven't built the other doorway that would follow that side of the river, but one doorway I figure is good enough for now. I also put a hole over here. It probably mentions this somewhere in the logbook. I put a hole over here so that you can get past the wall and outside if you want. But I kind of made it so that, come out of here, that the villagers can't use it. I want to hit you so bad, but not right next to the iron golem. So this is just a simple measure. Nothing gets in, nothing gets out. It wouldn't be effective against monsters, but yeah, I just built this short little bridge. Just takes you right over here. This world's gonna be really awesome when we can really start exploring out here. There's even glow squids. So yeah. But I'm not really using this right now. I just used it to explore and so that it's ready for the future. It actually took quite a while to build just that simple of a thing. So what else? Yes, we did that. So let's see. We farmed and traded like we always do. Good business. I guess I could show you my stockpile. It's not humongous just because I end up spending so much anyways. Yeah, that's the south gate and the bridge I just said. Yeah, I don't exactly remember what I meant by that, but it is kind of funky when we're being forced to partially go into phase 2 before we're ready. Oh yeah, making some new tools. Missed out on making some new tools. I can go show you them, so let's see. Yeah. Alright, another funny thing was, I don't remember how, but I had achievements disabled in this world, and not particularly justly, because, in my opinion, because I think what happened was I was switching to creative mode to, like, survey this, just to survey. I wasn't gonna, like, give myself 500 blocks of diamonds, because what's the point of that? But I think I just switched to creative to survey at some point, way back before I started recording, or even before I built the wall. There's our stockpile. 33 blocks. That's 33 times 9. You can do the math. More of that came from. Anyways, I do so much trading here that I could easily get the 1,000 emerald trade achievement and other stuff multiple times over. Shoot, the chest full of cobblestone. I already got it. That achievement way back then. But I've mined enough cobblestone just building this wall to, I don't know, get that 30, 40 times over. So I wanted my achievements back, and I wasn't gonna actually use creative to cheat. I wanted to be honest, but I wanted to get achievements, because if there's ever a world that you can get the trading achievements on with villagers, it would be one like this, which is just a mega village. So using, I don't know if you've heard about this application, but I used Universal Minecraft Editor and found out there's actually a setting in that app. If you get into your game's files, which it works with Bedrock, it actually works with lots of versions of Minecraft, there's a setting to actually turn your achievements back on. So you just have to switch a number from like 1 to 0. So it's, instead of saying, oh, you switch to creative so you can't do achievements, 1, you switch it to 0, I think. So it's like, oh, you're good, you're gonna have achievements. So I have achievements again. And as you can see, we're well on our way to getting the 1,000 emeralds. Which is nice, because if this is the survival world I'm going to be playing on for like many years to come, I would really like to have the ability to get achievements, especially if I'm not cheating using commands or whatnot. So, I mean, call what you want cheating. I suppose flying around surveying things is perhaps technically classed as cheating, but it also depends on how necessary it is to do what you're trying to do with the world. So I got achievements enabled using Universal Minecraft Editor. It's a pretty great tool. What else do we have? Tools. Where do I keep them? Speaking of tools and enchantments, there's a librarian somewhere in this village here that sells bookshelves, which is awesome. So we got all the bookshelves we need up in here for an enchantment table, but the enchantment table is probably not going to come until the village is finished, because I need obsidian, and you can't get that in an old world, and we're playing in the old world, so. But we've got all the bookshelves, which is awesome, because usually that takes forever, but it was super easy in this system. So I think I keep them over here. It's been a while. Yeah, so. Oh, I'm holding it. Durr. So this looks like it's digging time. That's a reference to Sweep, whatever that broom's name is from Baldi's Basics. But anyway, Unbreaking 3, Mending 1, Efficiency 4, and just for the heck of it, I put Cursive Vanishing. I think that's because it was on the book, and I figured, you know what? I'm probably not going to die with this in my hand, and if I do, well, adventure is out there. So I decided to put up with it because I was struggling to get the enchantments. It takes a long time to fish these up, even with something like that. So looks like Sticking Time has been a great help in the mines, because that means I don't have to spend diamond after diamond after diamond on a new shovel. I can just fill this one up. Of course, it means it takes longer to trade to get all the XP, but hey, more time farming and off of mining, which balances things out. We still got Wall Builder. It's doing as good as ever. That thing's lived thousands of lifetimes. What next? Turn achievements. Started mining to stock up. Acquired first copper. Yeah, so we traded. We got our first copper. And although I'm not in, I'm never going to be in, or at least I don't believe I'm going to be in such a need of cobblestone as I was for building this wall, I did want to stock up all our cobblestone chests so that for whatever projects we do, next, which is likely just going to be a bunch of villager housing and shops. We've got all the cobblestone we need. So every one of these chests in this corner of this storage facility have cobblestone. And these, for now, I'm not sure what I'm going to repurpose them for. Something, but we're not using these for cobblestone anymore. Those were just temporary. These are the permanent 8. So 64 times, what is it? 54 times 8. We're pretty set for a good while, I'd say. Let's see. Traded a bunch, and then later in the day, mined some more. Red sand and mossy blocks from a wandering trader. That was just something that happened, I guess. Although we were using it on the church. I think we already... It's been so long, I don't even remember if the church was here when I started recording. I think it was. Maybe. Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure. So we needed to finish something in there. We might go have a look at that place in a little bit. I might have already finished it up. It's just been so long, I can't even remember everything. So this day, mine some more, because, you know, we've just been mining and mining. What we're really trying to do right now is stock up on wood and cobblestone. That's what we've been doing most recently, because we need it for building materials for all the village. So that's our priority at the time. But we got some slime balls for sticky pistons and red sand. I can't keep pronouncing this wrong. Traded villagers, trade more. Yeah, villagers are moving around everywhere, so it's always super easy to keep track of them. Like, that's sarcasm. It amazes me with not even, like, relatively speaking, half the entire village complete, how easy it is to lose track of all the villagers. To be like, where's this guy living now? Wait, he's working on the other side of the village? God. Almost makes you need to name your villagers, but I don't know if I'm even gonna do that. It would be nice, so I could tell, hey, this guy's that guy and not the other one. But and I don't think I quite fixed the job shortage problem, which is kind of created by the villagers themselves. But that's another thing we have to get on at some point. Traded, tried to fix it, don't know how well it worked, farmed, and now we were on to chopping wood because we're stocked on cobblestone, so we need to chop more wood. Chop wood, farming and trading. Yeah, that was a enchantment table we already showed you. Mine. Right. I'll have to show you that. Oh yeah, and I got my first copper. I already said that. Not a huge deal. We just found our first copper ore. And I can even show you where we found that. Yeah, so I guess I could show you the wood. We mined, traded, pathways, worked on church, stonemasons, trading, mining. We didn't really need the cows anymore, and the pen was taking up space, so we set them free to bounce around in the wild and frolic in the fields and get them out of the way. So trading, chopping, and it looks like that's where we left off. So church is probably closest. Actually, I don't recall if I showed you what's back here so far. I just don't remember. So I'll just run through it real quick. This is what's currently here in the village. It's not super fancy. I mean, there's a library here at the fireplace. That's cool. Still working on it. There's a shop here which really needs to be finished, but I don't even know what I'm putting in there yet. Housing along the shore with a little mini ocean here because there's squids and fish and turtles sometimes. And we're far from done here. It's at least, you know, semi-functional now. More housing over there. That's basically it. and then a separate way to get down other than that bridge. You got this little nook back here. I don't recall, I already showed all this, but you've been showed now. So, even if it was a speed tour. So the church and pathways. We're kind of been planning out where we're going to expand next once we finish what we're actually working on right now. So the church, trying to remember. We still need to fix these iron doors because the villagers will... Oh wait, no, I think I did fix them. Yeah, so they can walk in and out as they please and not be trapped in here because we don't want that. So I think it's mostly finished in here, from what I can remember. I need maybe one more block or something in there. I can't remember, but that altar tabernacle Baltachino is there. I don't remember what else I was working on, but I think everything is in here that was supposed to be. The basement hasn't changed too much. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I don't know if we were if I showed you. I think it was in a video where we were putting pathway over here, but you know, this section of the path goes up here to that storage facilities path, and then down here we're gonna have more housing, probably on the ground, but also in the trees is what we're definitely going for. And what next? The other side of the church. If you loop around, you can either go around that way, or you can go through the basement if you really want, I guess. Yeah. So, it just comes through here, where we think we're going to put housing. I think there's going to be a well here, so that's what that hole in water is about. That water was naturally there. I just wanted to use it for part of the village. And then we're going to put housing around here. However, I don't know the details yet. It's pretty vague. And I'm just stopping here for now, until I figure out how I want to keep continuing this. Sorry about that. Let's see. What else? I've already forgotten. Chop wood traded. Chop wood traded. Dirt and stone. Right, more stock. We don't need to look at that too much. I can show you the wood we've been collecting so far. This will only take a moment. And we're collecting more. So, I'm already going the wrong way. Up here, in this storage facility, this is where we're going to store construction materials. And in this corner, we've been putting logs. So we're stocked on jungle. We're doing 2 rows of 64 all the way across. Stocked on jungle, stocked on spruce. We're kind of needing to piddle along on acacia, and that reminds me, I'm gonna have to show you the tree farms. Those are new too. We're stocked on dark oak, and we need more oak and birch. So I'm gonna show you this in a minute, but there's one thing outside of the game I have to take care of real quick, so just a moment. If I can actually access what I'm trying to access. Just a moment, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, let me just double check. Audio's actually working. Yeah, okay, it's working. So, let's see. So I might get interrupted again pretty quick, and it'll only be for a minute, I suspect. But for now, we'll continue. So, got the logs in there, and let's come up here. So, tree farms. That's one there. That's the spruce logs. It's just these big, tall 2x2s. And it's actually a pretty good amount of wood I can get just from chopping these over and over. It's like, what? 3... That one's never seemed to grow. I guess it's just not a good spot. That's like 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a 6th one here that sometimes grows. So, not bad, and they put some of this stuff on the ground, which is cool. What is it? It's a podzol, I think. Let's see. Dark oak farm is up there, and it's actually a bit bigger than that. If we find our way up here. A little route up here somehow. Yeah, this will work. Oh, it looks like we're not the only one who's a good climber. Sneaky sneak, and of course a shepherd would be the one to find his way up here. So, we got some trees here, and some trees over there. It only looks like there's 2, but there's more than that. 2 or 3 or 4, I don't remember. But that's dark oak, this whole thing. Jungle, I mean, there's lots of jungle trees around naturally in this world, but I wanted to limit it to a specific area. So over here, if I run around real quick, it's again, we're mostly just doing a line of tall 2x2 trees because they're the most proficient. Hello, squids. They're the most proficient for wood type. So we cleared a little skinny path where we can just grow these big ones and leave some space for each of them right next to the wall. Sometimes their leaves grow in through the windows, but it's not that big of a deal. So we just try to keep our chopping here so that the rest of the jungle doesn't kind of get deforested, because we like the natural look of the jungle and we want to keep it that way because it'll also give the proper feel for the village. And then over here we have a birch tree farm, which is funny because I think originally in this world there was only 1, maybe 2 birch trees, just that many. It was very few. To have any at all was pretty cool. But from that we managed to grow a lot more, so they're pretty much here to stay. And it's just right over here. Decided to make more use of this little section by turning this land into the tree farm. So there's all these birch trees kind of crowded in together because it's really not a lot of space, but it works. And honestly, this is probably one of the least proficient farms, just because it's birch trees. They only grow so tall, you can't make them 2x2. Even oak trees sometimes, even though they don't grow 2x2, they sometimes kind of get big and beefy and have large branches and look like a giant bush. The best these do is every once in a while in the wild they'll grow like 17 blocks tall or something for some reason. But normally the best you can get is 7 per tree, so It's probably the least proficient farm, or at least one of the least, and that's why we don't have it completed as near as fast as the others. Now, I was running out of room because I want to save as much of this space for the actual village itself as possible. So I was running out of room and places to think of putting the other two farms, which would be acacia and oak. So while we're thinking of trees, and I wanted to show you what's changed with the mine anyway, we'll head down to the mines and take a look at the solution we have going on down there. So at some point I was thinking about perhaps creating farms underground. And while I was thinking of more like edible crop farms, and that still stands, I decided that there's in a certain area plenty of space to grow trees down here. So first of all, look at this. No more void. It's this entire wall of the old world. And I think, if I remember, out of this wall it's just sticking out here, there was copper ore. It must have been right here. Yeah, there was just copper ore sticking out right here, right into the open air. So, that was cool. We got to get some copper. So, I finished mining this as far as I wanted to. You might have been there for it or not. I don't remember. It's a long time ago. So, that's the solution right there. I'll show you in a minute. All the way down there. When you get down there, that's where we were starting to mine straight down for reasons. And I didn't want to breach that area, so we just stopped where we are and started digging second channels. And this is the one we did that was huge, that was a 5x5, and now it's like a 5x10, and it's literally like, in some places, just a layer above bedrock. Like, here's a piece of bedrock. So, like, relatively close to halfway down this big old, just man-made crevice in the ground, we've got these oak saplings, and this really doesn't give them space to grow as big as they could, but we just try to solve that by just sheer numbers, which kind of works, but yeah, sometimes they just don't grow that big, so it's like, it's still kind of a slow process, and sometimes, like you see there's a lot of them that haven't grown up yet. They just take their time, so you have to keep yourself busy and keep doing stuff. Same setup with the acacia trees here, just row after row of them. They kind of do about the same, maybe slightly better than the oak, surprisingly, but it's just big enough for them because it's 5x10, I think. So we get away with it and save space up there for the village. And we sure find lots of wandering traders down here. Also, this is kind of dangerously cool. Just a wall of lava there. But we stopped planning up to it a ways because we don't want this to... Yeah, so... So that's the trees. I think that's basically the last thing I can think of that was missed out on in all this time I haven't uploaded. Yeah, we stocked some more dirt and gravel and stuff, but I don't think we really need to say much else. I think that's pretty much it. So, while we're here, we'll get back to what we were doing way back like a few months ago, which is chopping the wood. So all we have left is, unfortunately, the... Well, I guess it's a matter of perspective, but all we have left is the more slow-growing farms. So we just have to gradually pick away at them until our stock is complete. And then, once our stock is complete, the plan is to just keep on building houses, shops, and I've actually got some pretty cool ideas for exciting prospects for how we're gonna, first of all, finish the areas that we haven't quite finished yet, and then how we're gonna go about laying out the newer ones. Like, for instance, in the jungle, I know I want to have some housing on the ground, but just because it's such a cool idea and I've never tried it. I'd like to put some of the villager housing in the treetops and see if I can't actually make like feasible walkways for them to use so they can be at ground level and then walk up to their house. I think their AI is enough to handle that. Alright, hold on. I'm getting interrupted. I'll be back in just a second. Alright. We're back. We are back. Just one more audio check. I think we're gonna be fine every time we do this, but I just like to be sure. Yep, okay. So that's working. Cool. Don't know if you heard that on the stream, but... anyways, we were chopping wood. And we're gonna keep chopping wood. So... I was talking about the jungle houses, yeah. I want to put some houses on top of the trees, especially the big, tall ones where it's nice and flat and round. I think that would be a cool idea. And just walkways so they can get up there. And what's really going to be cool about that is, because there's no natural village, jungle village variant in Minecraft as of now, you hardly ever see the jungle variant of villager robes, which exist in the game files, but don't get used really because there aren't any jungle villages, and it's kind of the same story with swamps. So the cool thing is, because even though we don't have any swamp biome in this world, we do have jungle, plenty of jungle. So we'll actually get to have jungles-themed villagers, and lots of them, because there is plenty of jungle. That's like, what, half of this world's landmass? Or at least a third. So, that's going to be pretty neat to have them so commonplace, which is not so commonplace for other people when they go wandering around in villages. So... that is the game plan. But before that, again, after we get the wood, because we're good on cobblestone, but we need more wood. We especially need this acacia type right now, because the part that I need to finish, as I was starting to say, is that little section I showed you next to the beach, that little mini ocean, because that's all acacia, because that's in a savanna. So, and we're gonna, I think, build some more. So I need to make sure that I have lots of acacia planks to do that with. Logs, actually, because we might want to use full logs at certain points. So, chopping the acacia, and I'd say out of this farm, granted right now we're really only chopping at partial capacity because most of the trees haven't grown up at this point. I'd say we get max, maybe 3, 4 stacks if we're lucky. Nah, probably 2 or 3 is more realistic, which is good, I guess, but compared to the big trees, what are they, 2x2s, that's not much, and it's certainly not a fast growth rate for stockpiling, but we manage by it. Oak, I think, is even worse. Yeah, I think it's a little bit worse than acacia. I am tired. Speaking of which, time is 7:45. I don't recall how long we've been doing this, so maybe I'll check real quick. About an hour. Okay. That's irritating. Looked at something else. Okay. There's some logs. One thing we could possibly use, but I'm not sure that we'll ever make, is an enchanted diamond axe, so that we don't have to... Well, actually, really, it's not necessary. I mean, because with these villager trades, I can just keep buying iron axes over and over again, as long as I keep trading with the villagers. I can just buy them as I need them, so it's really not hardly costing me anything as far as, you know, mineral resources or even wood. So I could get one, but I mean, but it wouldn't hurt to have a diamond pickaxe that doesn't break, or axe doesn't break for the long periods of chopping. So that's all the acacia for now. So we're gonna move on to oak then. Yeah, so that wasn't full capacity, but we only got like a stack and then some out of that. Ooh, spooky noise. Spooky noise. Happy Halloween, by the way. It is October 31st. So, what I could really use is a hoe, speaking of which. At least we've got a pretty good source of collecting apples now that we've got all these oak trees to get rid of. Oh, darn. Where'd you go? Here. Something like there. Okie dokie. If there's anyone watching, anyone in the chat, feel free to leave a message, I guess, since it's a live stream. Don't really have this. I really haven't live streamed before, so this is a little new to me. I guess you could call it a comment or a message. Feel free to say hi. Pleasure to have you if you're here. Let's see. I dropped yet another torch. Ooh. Nope. Let's get the book out of the way for now. Oh, we got saplings now. Good source of sticks, too. This is great for... That's why this stuff is so great. You can get so many resources just from doing simple grinding or farming stuff like, or methods like this, and then find a Fletcher, sell him all your sticks, find a... Oh, what else? You know, find a farmer, sell him all your wheat. It's like, well, I could use that for bread. It's like, yeah, but if you grow enough of it, you can just buy all the bread or all the pumpkins or all the carrots, or maybe not those, but like apples and cakes and pies and anything you could need. You can just buy it. If you're exponentially farming over what people produce, over what, you know, they're asking, then it actually turns the deal way in your favor, and you get more out of it than you put into it. There goes my hoe. I don't really think I'll need it. It's not too many trees, is there? Well, nah, I've got enough saplings. I'm not even gonna worry about it. I should just be able to replant them and keep going. So, keep on a chopping. So, first priority is get rid of all stockpile wood, and then finish the area we've been building on, and then move on to new village areas. Just basically rinse and repeat until we finish the village. Of course, it might not be that simple. It might be a little bit more complicated, depending on what we decide to do, but that's it. That's the game plan. I suppose I can talk about World of Tanks Blitz while I'm just chopping here. I did those other videos on Blitz, just like I said about the Minecraft ones. They're just delayed being uploaded, so I stopped making them so I wouldn't have to catch up, because I didn't realize that, oh hey, guess what? Your internet is now going to let you upload videos in like 3 hours or less, and it'll let you do multiple videos at the same time, which will only marginally, if at all, increase how long it's going to take to upload them. It's like, well, geez, did my upload speed, my upstream speed, just go through the roof all of a sudden or something? But I wasn't expecting that, so I stopped making them. And even though it's been a while, I don't think we're probably going to change our content too much for what I've already been doing. I'm just enjoying the Churchill gun carrier too much. I just played a few games, I think, yesterday, since I got my internet working right. And I didn't play for too long, but I really enjoyed it while I was there. And I just love it too much. I'm gonna keep promoting it. You know, after one of those battles, speaking of which, you know, I killed someone, or I finished someone off, you know, and they had to go in my private message and say, what did they say? Their response to being killed by a Churchill gun carrier, who, to be fair, was sniping on a sniper spot at the back of the map, or pretty close to the back of the map, was, I can't remember exactly, but it was something like stupid bot, or like basically like you bot player for getting me in a gun carrier. I can't believe it. To their credit, at the very least, they weren't like dropping some F-bombs and S-bombs and going on about how their win rate was 10% better than mine or whatever. Which actually, I don't know how much it's worth, but their win rate says they're actually a much more successful player than me, and they've got enough battles, and I don't know about diversity, but they've got enough battles that it seems like they're actually not half a bad player. Better than me, at least. Even though they haven't played for as long, which could be part of the factor, but so yeah, kudos to them, but they weren't too happy. Or I guess they were just surprised. Either way. So, since I finished the mines down here, I've been continuing on with the middle mine up here, which is, I consider the gold level mine, because that was kind of the intent of making this, is find gold and lapis. So, I did that after I finished down there to just get more cobblestone. But I did find some mores, and I do find some mores. Not near as much as down there, but it's good. It was a nice break from the method I was using down there anyway. Anyway, World of Tanks Blitz, I don't think our content is changing really much at all. However, I will say there is a slight addition and change, because there is an event while I was out of commission for making videos, and I think it was called Operation Landship. And if you happen to recall what that was one of those battle pass operations about, complete missions, fight, do good, and then you'll get a special tank and some other cool stuff. Well, the tank they just happened to have this time was, believe it or not, based off the Churchill gun carrier, and it's called the Dreadnought, or if you get the special fancy camo that changes the name, the Dreadnought Lancelot. And it basically looks like if you took a Churchill gun carrier and combined it with a Mark I from World War I. Mark I British tank. So, it's kind of funny and cool looking, but just listening to the stats and knowing all that about it, I had to have it. Normally, I don't care much for buying stuff in that game. Sometimes I buy a little thing here or there, but usually I just don't, because I don't care to spend my money on it, and it's not worth my time anyways. But this was one exception. And usually when I spend my money, I tend to, try to be more patient with how I spend it. I intentionally was impatient with how I spent it this time. Instead of playing, a little bit and working my way as far as I could up to the Dreadnought and then buying what I needed left, I just paid like, what, $35 and bought the whole thing. And then I continued playing some games for free and managed to get no, actually, I think I paid for the camo too. But I got the cool background screen for your profile for free. But I paid the $35 for the whole kit and caboodle, the tank and the camo. And I swear, at least on the North American server, I was one of the first people to have that thing. It was like the day this whole thing started, I went and I bought it. I had prepared. I'd already gotten my money out and into the system just ready to buy, and so I went and I got it. And somebody in game, like, I don't know, the 5th battle's like, my goodness, there's someone who's already spent money on it. And they're like, what a waste. You could have just played it for free, and like, you spent money on that. It's like, you know what? I'm a gun carrier enthusiast. I don't care what you think. I mean, it's humorous, but I don't care what you think. I wanted it, and spoiler alert, I'm loving it. I have loved the Dreadnought, and I'm going to keep playing it too. I'll probably switch it out periodically with the gun carrier, which the gameplay won't be too much different, I can tell you that. Just that you can make a few more mistakes and play a bit more aggressively and proactively. Just enough to be different in the Dreadnought than you can in the regular gun carrier. But I spent big money. That's one tank. If there's any tank Wargaming would try and tempt me with it, I would be absolutely win. Like, yes, okay, I'll do it. I'll blow my money on a spending spree just to get this thing now and make sure I have it in my garage. My garage. That was it. The Dreadnought Lancelot. So, I've enjoyed it. The design is cool. The fact that it has the fancy graphics early is cool. But it's kind of cool as well because it's really similar to the gun carrier. It's not too different. However, it's got enough armor added onto it to make you actually able to pull off some bounces pretty regularly. Well, whatever. Didn't mean to do that. You can sometimes do that in the gun carrier depending on who you're fighting with and how janky you get with trying to trick them into doing stuff. But you can like actually effectively and regularly do it in the Dreadnought, which is cool. Plus the gun, even though it's got a longer reload and I think it's less accurate and stuff like that, like a bigger dispersion, it really feels good to be the same tier level tank, have more armor, and to be able to pack such a bigger punch. It's just enough to really feel like you're smacking them a big one. Like certain tanks, you can just chew just about half their health away in that single hit. So it's awesome. It's not too different, but it's different enough to be kind of unique. And I do not regret my purchase, and I don't think I ever will. I mean, I paid money to enrich my Churchill gun carrier, which, speaking of which again, I don't regret. But the Lancelot actually, I think, makes slightly more money, just slightly more, than the Churchill gun carrier does, despite the Churchill gun carrier being enriched. So that's a thing. But hey, another great moneymaker and a tank I really love and is a meme on a meme, built on a meme. That's just awesome. So, again, not really thinking I'm gonna switch up the gameplay, at least for now, because I'm just having too much fun, and I've just gotta get people more used to seeing it. But now I've also got a really cool toy. I've got the Lancelot to boot, so you'll see them share each other's videos once in a while. But other than that, same old, unpredictable, same old predictably unpredictable gun carrier stuff. So yeah. Anyways, back to what we were doing. I want to find, first of all, I don't remember what I was doing with the extra bone meal I have, because I've already filled up the chest I'm storing it in. So where am I putting it now? I'm not throwing it in a storage facility, am I? Pretty sure I'm not putting it upstairs anymore. I don't think it would be in construction, but check anyway. Yet another thing we need to do. We need to find that, if he's still around, I haven't seen him in ages, that one stonecutter dude who's been with us since the beginning, who sold black terracotta, because I can't continue building the wall floor if I can't get black terracotta. That's what we're using. So it's not in here. That's clear. Would it be in the food? I don't think it would be in the food section. Thought I saw a villager head there. Where would I be? I don't even know if I do have somewhere I'm storing this stuff. Because now that we've got those pretty handy dandy composters, we can actually renewably make what you call it, bone meal. So we're gonna gradually build this up over time, especially if we're not using it. For some reason I sure make a lot of bone meal, but I don't always use it. I guess I use it for dyes now that you can do that, so I don't know where to store it right now. I guess I could put it in the rare. It's not particularly rare, since I can just get it from plants, but it does take time to make it, so I guess we'll put it here for now. But when it builds up more over time, I'm just gonna have to figure out somewhere else to put it. Then I want to find a shepherd. One of these shepherds. Because I know there's a shepherd out there that I've been selling brown dye to for a long time as well. Oh, hello. That's cool that wolves will spawn just in regular old forests once in a while now. Makes them easier to find. So I can get cats and I can get dogs in this world. Get birds too, come to think of it. Okay, so where would beeth the shepherd up here? Where be the shepherd? I don't see a shepherd anywhere. But I have this wonderful cocoa beans for him. Where have you gone? Well, I don't even recall why I started chopping those. Probably because I was talking too much to think. Fisherman, farmer, librarian, fisherman. I know there's a shepherd out here, but he's not the guy I'm looking for. They all seem very talkative. How are we doing on eggs anyway? And we got a while to go. You're not him, but you look awfully like him. You sell the green terracotta. Well, there's a shepherd. I don't think it's him. Nope. Oh, where has this guy gone? You sound brown. But you're not the guy I'm looking for. Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned it. We fixed up this little area too, because there was like a road that came around to here and then just stopped, and I thought, well, that's kind of silly. We ought to do something. So we just looped it back around and moved the stands here that used to be in this part of the village so that there's more room for stuff. Speaking of which, something I noticed going back to the world generation changes is the first world generation change that I noticed, which was farther back than the most recent one in 17.2. The world looked basically exactly the same, except for some reason this village, the part of it that's original to the world, It used to be there at that exact same spot and look the exact same every single time you generate the seed. But when this one update come out, the world looked exactly the same, but the village was just gone. It just didn't generate there anymore, and I thought that was extremely weird. And then when it did this whole let's shift the world, 16 blocks to the right thing, in the new area where I don't know where the shepherd is, in the new area where that was outside of that portion of the wall, there was part of the new village that generated. And by new village I mean in the old world, when the village generation changed, I forgot to mention that after the period where the old world was the same but the village was gone, then when the world shifted, and before it shifted it to this world, there was a new village there, but it was abandoned and it zombified and it looked completely different and it was cut off and yada yada yada. What I mean to say is, before this happened to the survival world, you could recreate this seed anew, like brand new in creative, and that village would be over there, and the weird new chunk shift would be in the new version of the seed. But the thing was, it didn't affect the currently generated old world. And that's what's so weird, is that this new shift world thing had already existed if you would generate the seed again. But for some reason, it got to a point where it proactively affected the world I was in. Just by me loading it, it shifted it for some reason. And I've never heard of it doing that to a world before. Unless, like, the world gets corrupted or something. And this world didn't get corrupted, which is so weird. At least it didn't get corrupted in the traditional sense of, oh, you ran out of data or storage space and so world error. Which I've had that happen before a long time ago. But that wasn't it. That didn't happen, so it's just so strange. So you can still generate this old world seed, but it looks kind of different from this. That whole desert thing that was naturally here before is not. It's different. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, I heard that Mojang is deciding to discontinue the old world type for Bedrock very soon. So I understand it. It's like, well, they've just kind of let this old world stuff go, and anyone that has a device that plays Bedrock now probably has enough power on that device to just do infinite worlds, so it's not really necessary to keep it around. And it's just becoming a problem that no one attends to, so I kind of get why they're doing this, but it's also kind of sad. It's like, man, if only they had attended it. It's kind of sad to lose that piece of history, you know. If not losing it on file, just losing it, you know, physically being able to access it. Other than loading a world like this that's old world already, but who knows, if an old world can shift like that and break in a weird way, then maybe the functionality of a pre-existing old world can break at some point too. So yeah, if Venom, if you're watching this, here's an interesting idea or a little problem for you to look into. I'm sure that'll keep you busy for a wee bit. Have fun with that. Let me see. I'm having the same problem with these coca beans that I'm having with the bone meal. Except I can actually just recycle them, so that's what we'll do. Don't have anywhere to store them, so I'll just turn them into more bone meal. And instead of having two problems, we'll just have a greater singular problem. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't the logic Undeniable. I need a new hoe too, and I buy that from villagers, so I either have to go to bed or keep myself busy till next morning. And I think I'll stay busy just because it gives more time for the trees to grow down there while I'm unable to trade. Yeah, because there's no monsters right now, you would not believe. Well, actually, no, you might, but I've stayed up a lot of nights is the point. And I might, well, no, if there was monsters, I would go to sleep for the villager's sake, but that wouldn't fix the problem anyway, so that's why I'm not doing it. I don't have monsters here until this entire village is built, so that the entire thing can be lit up properly, so that there will never be monsters spawning inside. And hopefully, if I can pull it off right, we won't ever get any raids inside, because otherwise, this wall is like lost 50% of its functionality. Because we want it to be impossible for raids to spawn in here. So they have to be outside, and then the village is defended. I mean, I don't think I'm going to proactively go and start a raid, even when this village is deemed able to handle it. I'm not going to actively do that, but if it happens somehow, I want to be prepared for it. So, where to go with the sugarcane? I think... Oh yeah, that's why I haven't been stockpiling sugarcane so much. It's because I sell a bunch of it in the form of paper. Man, it's been so long. Okay, well, you know what? Let's do kelp. Let's get some more kelp so we can have more renewable energy. And if I'm going to do that, I actually need... What do I need? I need that helmet with respiration on it? Yeah. Cap, I suppose it's called. Let's get busy. Arg. Oop. Pop up to the top. Ah, yes, the Blub Blub song. Oh, I'm gonna breathe. Underwater says, "Oh no, I'm going to breathe if I stay down here too long. And I'm not going to be able to drown unless I reach the surface for air." What? What? Error. Logic.codex.exe not found. Oh. That's funky. Patchy water mechanics. Mojang. Alright, we have a fast mode. That is a lot of kelp and some seriously patchy water for some reason. Ah yes, the process of introducing new updates, fixing old bugs, and introducing new ones. That's a lot of kelp! Good thing we have 3 smokers just for this. Alright, so now, paper time. Bazinga. You want some paper, sir? Let's fix our tools, eh? Always gotta remember to hold the tool while we're trading so we can get some good old XP slapped into it. I got more paper, cool. Probably only enough for one more trade, but... Why, thank you. And now... I'd like to... go and buy a hoe. I don't think I have any in here. Nope. I need to buy a few if I can. My good sir, you do not have what I need. I think... No, I think it's a weaponsmith who sells them. Or is it? You guys are newbies. Where are the old guys at, eh? Where have the old timers all moved to? The old timey wimeys. Oh yeah, library. More bookshelves now too. Although I could still use some. I think we want to put more there. Do you happen to be over here? No. No. Oh, maybe it's you. Ah. Yeah, you're our man. That is what we want, amigo. That's it for now. Alright. Only cost us 8 emeralds. Speaking of emeralds, it's gonna be kind of interesting how the whole mining mechanic changes in this next Cave Eclipse update. And especially with emeralds, used to be you could only find them under extreme hills and only in veins of 1, which is kind of oddly specific. And now it's like, well, you can find them in more than that, but you gotta go high up, and I mean really high up for it. It's just curious. Fascinating. Let's see. Alright. Can you recycle these? There's some things we can't recycle. Yes, we can. Cool. XP. It's good. Excuse me. Oh, we are full-on butchers here. We are butchers. me see that. So, okay. What can we do while we're waiting for this? We're still waiting on chicken eggs, so that will take a bit. I suppose we could go farm some more. We could go something that keeps us close by, so that we can keep going back and forth and not lose any fuel efficiency. I guess we'll just farm a crop at a time or something like that. Oh, I actually need to get rid of that pen if I'm not using it anymore. I thought I did. Ah, I'm already passing it. We'll just farm up some wheat real quick. Maybe we can sell it while we're waiting on the kelp. A loyal fan base of subscribers. Glad that didn't turn into dirt. In other news, I'm working on another project other than this one. It's really been working on it for like several years now, but in that time it's basically been on hiatus since like the beginning, just because too many irons in the fire. So librarian, where are you going? Adventure, I suppose. Alright, I think we've still got time to sell stuff, but we gotta check on our on our kelp first. Let's see. Kelp. Yeah, they're right in the middle. Oh! No, that's Savannah. Okay, I got confused. Thought he was a jungle villager for a minute. Yeah, so while they're in the middle of their conversing, I could be selling if I find the right guys. Yes, amigo. I'd like to do a business with you. Very much a business. I thank you. I actually could have gotten more wheat while I was there. Once again, too many irons on the fire. Speaking of which, the project I was mentioning, it's been on hiatus for a while, but I've just recently, like, past week or two, started work on it again. And, it's coming on slow and steady. It's, if you recall the old channel with its little school projects, it's another one of those, except it's not something I have to do, because obviously I'm not in school anymore. It's just something I wanted to do, and hello, here's a wandering trader. Yet another distraction. Moss block. Ooh. I think I'm actually gonna... You know what? We'll buy some sand. You know, it's hard to get around here since we have a limited supply inside. So we'll just do that. We got a full stack. That's nice. I think that's all we really want right now. Hello. Trying to start a job. anyways, before I got distracted once again, it's slow and steady, coming along. I've actually, funny enough, had the soundtrack for it made for a long time. I might tweak it a bit, but it's basically there. I just haven't gotten to the actual making a set and then filming it yet, but I'm working on the set now, and it's going to take a bit more time. Assuming I do consistent work on it, which really, I say slow and steady, but really it's more slow because I was working on it steady for a few days, but, you know, other things are getting in the way, so I still definitely have a drive and want to work on it. I just need to finally get a bunch of other things out of the way so I can actually focus on it. So that I can focus steady on it and not have other things interrupting me. And so I was thinking initially, oh, it'll be 2 weeks until it's, you know, ready, and of course that was a vast underestimation, not because I'm doing too much work on it, which could still be an issue, but just because too many things are getting in the way. And I don't have the immediate pressure of it being, and importance pressure too, of it being a school project that needs to be done, you know, in a week or something. But I've got a good idea, a good vision for it, and hopefully I can even come close to that vision and what I'm trying to pull off, because that would be just dandy. I've had some people who've wanted to see it for a long time, but they haven't gotten the chance because I just haven't got it made. So I'd like to send it to them too so they can enjoy it. I think it's going to be posted to the new channel. I just remembered I'm streaming on the old channel right now. So if you don't, I guess this is good times ever. If you don't know, I've got a new channel. There's a short video in it, in this channel, like right before this one that says so. So if you're interested, go check that out. That's where I'm going to be posting from now on. Of course, I'm making a live stream here, but I'm really just doing the live stream here because I have never live streamed on the new channel before, obviously, and it takes 24 hours to activate that. So I've got it activated and it's doing that process, but I wanted to stream tonight, so I decided to just do this one little other thing on the old channel. And then once streaming's ready on the old one, if I do stream some more, it'll just be on the old or the new channel. And that's where this, I think this new video is going to be posted as well. It's, for those of you who don't know, it's called Wacko Idea Generations. That's the new channel. That's where this video will be, this project, not this live stream, but this new project I'm making will be posted. As far as this live stream, I might transport it to this channel. I'll have to be careful about how I do it, or else I'll get copyright strike for copying a live stream from my own 2 channels. But I might see if I get it on the new channel. I don't know, but at the very least, it'll be on this old channel, the Touchscreen Master. And yeah, and all these old projects will probably stay here, and this old channel will remain up basically solely for that reason, so you can see the old stuff. But new stuff, it's all going on the new channel. Even older formats of ideas, like the project videos I'm making. I guess I can say it's this new video is going to be called it's another one of the project series, and it's going to be called I think Project Animal Cell. So that's what I'm working on now, and it's going to be different from the old one. It's similar but different. It's I'll tell you what, I'm not sure that it's going to have too much narration. It might have a little, but it's definitely going to have music, okay? Like, the first one didn't have any music, but this one will have music, alright. This will have a hopefully pretty sweet sounding soundtrack that I've had for years at this point, literal years. So, that's coming. If I have to make a rough guesstimate of when I'll finally be able to get it out by, these next few weeks, I've still got lots of other things to do, but if I had to guess when it'll finally be done, probably some point either this next month or hopefully early December at the latest. Probably well before Christmas time is what I'm hoping. Maybe even before Thanksgiving or around Thanksgiving, I don't know. Guess we'll see. But that's the plan, man, and that'll be coming out before too long. So now, got more kelp. As for the other content, I've already talked about it, but I'm still going to be doing it periodically. I don't really have a consistent schedule right now, but it'll be much more frequent considering I haven't uploaded in like a month or two, maybe more. Actually, no, more like half a year now, I think. It'll be much more consistent, or at least often, even if it's not, you know, a logical pattern. It will at least be happening, and happening frequently. So you'll get new stuff. Again, at least, that's the plan. That's the plan. Assuming I don't get thrown some more major curveballs in life. That'll be what's happening. I'm pretty excited about all this. Happy to keep doing stuff. We're in it for the long haul, that's for sure. Let's see. What else? I think everything else is. This is something I've come to find as kind of silly. This poisonous potato is literally the most close to, I guess I won't say useless, but it's, if you were going to call anything useless, it would be this, or at least this is the absolute closest, I believe, you can get in the game for items. The closest you can get to it being actually useless is a poisonous potato, because you can't even put it in a composter. And maybe the devs, that's just an overlook by the devs, and they haven't thought of that. And if they knew, they'd be like, oh, sure. Because if you could at least make bone meal out of it, that would be nice. That's at least a somewhat practical use. It's not completely wasted. But as a poisonous potato, like, all you can do is eat it, and it's like survival food, like rotten flesh, I guess, but worse in a way, because it's like you really had to work to get it. You really have to work to get it. The only real use I could see of these potatoes is literally pranking someone with it, being like, oh, you're gonna get diamonds or some really cool gear or stuff, and then you just hand them a poisonous potato, like haha, funny joke, you handed me a poisonous potato, really funny, man. That's literally the best I could come up with for what you can use it for. I just don't believe, unless I'm mistaken, there's any real practical use other than that. I mean, another thing I suppose you could do is if you have some fancy redstone hopper system set up, and you need some junk items to be able to just float around in the system and you want it junk so that you're not wasting anything more valuable. um, and poisonous potatoes would probably work fine, because what else are you going to use them for? Hope there's some more sand. I might eventually mark that chest sand. I don't know what that corner is going to be for yet still, but it might just be for more sedimentary stuff like sand or concrete powder or something like that. Red sand maybe? I don't know. So these poisonous potatoes, I really don't know what to do with them. So for now, I'm literally just storing them over here in the food facility in a chest, because I don't know where else to put them or what to do with them. I could just toss them, but I don't even know why I'm keeping them. I just am. Maybe that'd be a major prank I could pull on someone, is be like, hey, I got some pretty cool inventory of food over here. It's just a full chest of rotten potatoes. That'd probably be flabbergasted at how I managed to collect so many one at a time over years and years of back-breaking labor. Some potatoes had the audacity to laugh at me and make my work just a little bit harder by becoming poisonous. That's all it is. It's just a joke item, people. You don't happen to... Nope. I am almost convinced that this guy, this old stonemason of mine, is either so well hidden that I'm not going to dig him out for a long time, or he somehow got killed or effectively just deleted from existence, which is a shame, because we did business for a long time and he was a good guy. But I just can't seem to find him anywhere. He could just be lost. I know I lost him once, like he got lost in the jungle once before or something like that, and I eventually found him kind of like on the edge. I don't know if that happened again or something else. It's like, where could he possibly be? Anyways, who wants some stuff? Who wants the goods? Who else? Want wheat? You want feet? Want feet? Who wants some melons or carrots? Yeah, sure, I'll do carrots. And beets. Beets and melons. Beets. They all want full pump or melons, but they don't seem to want slices too much. There's only like one or two guys I know that want slices. Just don't know why. This guy's one of them. And I think there's maybe one more up here, but it makes it hard to sell it when it's like, oh, you have to craft it back into a block. It's like, well, gee. You don't want it. Where is your partner in progress? That term, partner in progress. Well, maybe I'm just gonna have to craft some blocks out of these melons. Or store them away. I guess I'm gonna store them away. I prefer to sell, but if they're gonna be like, we want blocks, and I'm just not gonna sell them. Not right now, anyways. I'll just store them. So those are the last pieces of kelp going in. It's kind of slow building up this kelp, surprisingly. I mean, especially when you use more kelp to burn more kelp, but it does gradually build up, and at least you don't have to go get more coal that way. I'd probably save a fair bit if I did just use some of the coal I've mined up, but I could also potentially put that to better use. open skies. Hiya. Time for the fruity toodly test. And I guess we have to put the rest away too, because we're not selling it likely. Forgot, I have to bake these potatoes. I always bake them, because if I'm saving them for myself, might as well get something out of them. Where am I storing the pumpkins? Am I even? No, I don't think I am. I think I'm storing them at the apartment garage. I don't even know what to call that building right now. It's my house, it's my home, and it's a workshop, and it's where the villagers work too and trade. It's based off... I guess it really is a garage. Designed an old garage, but that's what it's based off of. But the garage that I based it off of was, instead of parking a car beneath, it was basically just used as the workshop. So, oh, and of course above it that was an apartment. That's where the... So I don't know. It's my housing. It's my abode. My thingamajigger. Thingamajanker. So we've got 3 potatoes. Oh yeah, no, the bone meal. What else? That's it, I think. Let's talk about business. So what are we running now, eh? Okay. Well. Alright. So these things will all finish up. Which one? This one's about finished. It's probably going to be done the first. I guess while we're waiting, we can log what we have done. Or at least get it started. Let's see. Today is the last day of October, and it is what? 8:47 p.m. So then we'll change these out real quick. Do some patata. Some patata. And then we'll craft some more. And get rid of these potatoes. So what do we do today? Well, did this live stream, introduced or reintroduced whoever anyone might have stopped by and or is watching this as a video afterwards. And speaking of which, I'm probably just gonna call this episode 4 or 5, whichever one we're on, even though it's a live stream. I'll probably just call it that. Or maybe even like in parentheses or something. We farmed, we traded, we looked around, talked a bunch, chopped some wood. And I think we basically just looked around, talked. Panda. Chopped wood, farm, traded. Ouch. I think that's pretty much all we did. And the sun sets on another glorious day. In the city of Foster, or the community of Foster, or whatever you want to call it. The mega village of impending sizability. Okay, so that one's done now too. I want to get all the XP I can. Okay, to finish this off. So, started a live stream. That's right, I showed up, because even if this is a video you're watching, you still missed out on a bunch that I've done that I haven't recorded. So, let's see. I think that's pretty much it. Pretty much all we did. Excuse me. Yeah, so that's it, I believe. And so we're gonna end the stream. Thank you very much for watching. Oh, there's some buttons on the screen underneath this video you can press if you feel like it, whatever. Anyways, thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Not sure if we'll stream or just do a regular video. Might do a bit of both. Might even stream Little Tank Splits, but we'll see when we get there. Anyways, you have a good Halloween, and I'll catch you next time. Adios.